Hello, you guys. Stephanie Zima here, Walk It Free, where we heal, connect, and level up. And today I want to talk to you about the real reason why people struggle to post on social media and that it has nothing to do with your content. If you're new to me, I am a transitional, no, I am a life and sales coach that helps people get off the emotional roller coaster so that they can take the action that they need. Okay. And when I say emotional roller coaster, what I mean by that is overcoming all the obstacles that life has in store for us. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's doubt, maybe it's overwhelm, maybe it's like not really knowing which puzzle pieces to do at what time and being completely confused. Like, how many of you have actually struggled with not knowing what to post, how to post, when to post, how to create leads from those posts, how to start conversations, how to turn conversations into sales, and so on and so forth. There's so many different touch points and ways on how to do it that many of you get maybe overwhelmed, right? And when you get overwhelmed, what happens? You are actually starting to be either shutting down, completely freeze mode, or you're a procrastinator, you're running away, you are maybe blaming people, that's a fight mode, and every single one of these triggers lead to a reaction. These are thoughts that are possibly leading to emotions, and these emotions are causing your nervous system to react, and your nervous system, when it shuts down, freezes, fights, does any of these survival strategies that it's using. When it does that, you are not taking the action that gets money into your pocket. Okay. And that is where the problem is. Many people are having a side hustle, are having an online business, and they don't do the right things often enough and long enough and consistent enough because it just, everything else is just so tough. Your mental load is so tough. You're drained already from your full-time job. You are exhausted even thinking about it. And so you half-heartedly dabble in everything and you're not seeing the results, and eventually you're just going to blame the whole thing and you say you're just not cut out for this. That's the end result that I hear a lot of people that are actually quitting. They're saying, I'm just not a salesperson, I'm not cut out to this. Okay. And that could be farthest away from the truth. Here I want to talk about the starting point. Okay. When we start the sales process, we need to start with creating an audience. We have to have leads, right? We have to have leads. And that means you need to post. You need to post something. They are talking about you need to have a brand. Like, what is your brand? What do you stand for? What do you want people to know about you? Okay. And whether or not you are having a sales job in an industry of some sort, maybe it's a logistics industry, maybe it's a car industry, maybe it's an insurance industry. Doesn't matter what industry you might be in, you also have to have a brand. What are you standing for? What is it that you are representing? Who are you when customers are going to come to your doorknob? Who are you and what kind of experience will they have, right? All these things need to be thought out for. And so when you have an idea in the background of your brain, you know that. And here comes the disconnect. You are actually afraid of the fear of judgment. You are afraid that somebody is going to say something about you. You are afraid that what you bring to the marketplace, whether or not it's your little side hustle or it's your full-time sales job, whatever you bring to the side hustle might not be good enough. Okay. And your fear of judgment is what's putting you into your survival mode. Your nervous system is on drive. Now, each one of us, it looks a little bit different. Some of us have a fawn mode that we show up, we do a little bit, but we actually kind of hiding. I've done this a lot in my sales career here right now, right? I've been posting, I've been there, but I also wasn't there. I wasn't following up on any of the conversations. I wasn't following up. And when I tried to follow up, now I would get overwhelmed because I didn't have the tools. I didn't really have a good system. I would lose track of everybody all the time. I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the sales skills to follow the leads through from lead generating all the way to. So what would happen if I fail here in this process because I didn't have the skills? Out of the sudden, I would be even more afraid that people are going to judge me. So what did I do? I showed up a little bit in my fawn mode, but then I hid, right? And I kind of like let myself off the hook all the time. And it could look to you like procrastination. It could look to you like somebody that is just too busy to get in and do the work. And that's where the problem is, okay? Because when you don't have skills and when you don't have confidence in what you're doing, your posting feels absolutely vulnerable. And when it feels vulnerable, you won't do it. That's what it is, right? Speaking with confidence is something that you can do. When you speak with confidence and you're going to have positive feedback from people, now you fuel that lifestyle, right? You fuel that. You will continue to do what makes you feel good. But when something doesn't feel good, we humans, we tend to avoid it. We tend to avoid it because, it just doesn't feel good. And it's really, really important that you understand that. So when you have this disconnect, how can we go about it? How can we fix that? It's always awareness, right? You have to figure out what thoughts are going to make me feel X, Y, and Z. What are those emotions that I even feel? And what skills do I need to learn that I am not possessing at this time? Those three things is what you need to do to get past it. Okay. You need to have awareness. You need to name the emotions and figure out how to work with them. And then you need to actually, need to, what was the third thing that I said? I just lost my train of thought. The third thing was get the skills. Yes, get the skills. And then the fourth thing after that, right, once you have the skills, would actually be taking small little steps to show yourself that you are good, that you don't have to be worried about judgment, that you don't have a lack of skills because you are working on getting more skills, or maybe you are getting somebody into the boat. Like many network marketers that are starting out, for example, what they could do is until they have the skills, they could get into a three-way message with an upline, for example. Or they could maybe have a mentor like the Freedom Mentor, right? They could say, "Hey, I want to send this to my to my customer. Does it sound right? Could I say something? Could I say that? Could I not say that? Is that the right thing?" See, this is what I love about mentorship, you guys. I know that some of you, when you hear this, you are like, "Oh, I'm already having coaching with my company. They're already training me." This is so different than having a mentor. A mentor, especially when you are in a VIP mentorship, and not just a group mentorship, but in a one-on-one mentorship situation, when you are in that, you have somebody that's already got those skills that you are looking to do on your side, in your fingertips. Somebody that basically works for you and says yes or no to what it is that you are trying to do. See, we sometimes don't think about the value that comes with having a mentor, having people that have gone this route before, okay, and that are able to say, yes, this is a good post, this is on brand, this is not, this is how it's supposed to be, because especially when you're beginning, your goal is to not be in survival state. If your body goes into survival state because you're stressed, you are not going to win. You are not going to take the action. And see, it's not that the job doesn't work. It's not that the industry doesn't work. It's that you don't work. And I know it's something really, I'm the tough love a little bit, right? But it's you don't work. You don't send enough messages out. You don't show up enough. You are not visible enough. And it's not because you're weak, okay? It's just because you need to learn to develop confidence with who you are, what you're selling, what the strategy that you're doing it with. And usually you develop confidence when you have skills. When you have skills and you are confident that they will work, then you actually can show up confident. And even then, even when you get rejection from somebody, right? Because even though you're skilled, you may still get a no. But even when you get a rejection, you can still know for yourself, like, you know what? Okay, that's not for her then, right? It's not for her. No big deal. All right, I hope this was helpful. Let me know your comments, your questions in the comments. I would love to answer any questions that you might have. I would love to have a conversation with you. If there's anything that you are not sure about, drop it in the notes or send me a private message if you don't want to talk about it in person. But if you don't have a mentor, or even if you already have a mentor and you want to get trained by me a little bit, check out the Freedom Mentorship. Right now, it's $27 only. I will eventually raise those prices, okay? Because $27 is way too cheap for what I offer. And yes, I want it affordable for people, but at the same time, I gotta eat, right? I got to live as well. So if I work way more than what I make, then eventually the rates need to be added on a little bit. Okay, so having said that, so get in right now because it's still $27, and literally everybody that's in already at that price will be grandfathered in. So it's only going to be going up for new people. So you might want to hop in now and stay in so you can have all the training all the time for the discount price. Anyway, I hope you are having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.